super special Friday edition of the Buckeye Roast. I'm filling in for Q, but I'm still doing the intro. Shout out Dead Air Sports. On today's Buckeye Roast, it's Ohio State versus Ohio week, and we are previewing the in-state matchup, what we're hoping to see from the Buckeyes as they fine-tune before conference play. We'll also put a few teams on upset alert and take a look at some of the biggest games and storylines for this upcoming weekend. Everything you are going to need to know. I'm Kris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Chris right here on Dead Air Sports. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for a special edition of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy, Kris Drew.
Thrilled, man. Got logged on. I told Ron, I'm excited. Every time we get on a show together, it feels like straight bag work. So I'm so thrilled to be here.
Super exciting to have you. I'm sorry that you had to do double duty, do the show and the intro. Next time we should make Q do the intro when you fill in. Like, oh, your way of asking Kris to fill in for you is by sending him in a pre-recorded intro of what we're talking about.
Bingo. That forced you to get, the show topics ready earlier, and you got to sit down and record.
Absolutely. Before we get into it, I have not a stat of the day. Kind of a stat of the day, more of a trivia question. The Buckeyes beat Grambling 70-0, which made me wonder, what's the most the Buckeyes have ever scored in a game? Kris, would you happen to know that statistic?
I don't. I think I know the most they've scored since the Urban Meyer era, but I don't know what the most they've scored in a game. I'm going to say over 100 because, back in the old days, there used to be those silly games, but I don't know. In
1916, the Ohio State Buckeyes beat Oberlin 128-0.
Jeez, Pete. That's absurd. And Oberlin, I don't even know if they play football anymore.
I mean, after that loss, would you play football again?
No, you wouldn't or shouldn't.
Yeah, time to hang it up and become a liberal arts college and leave the sports to Akron.
Yeah, okay, settle. Literally, as soon as someone cracks that 80 threshold, we're just packing it up. We're running clocks, not a thing, or did they just play until they felt like stopping?
I don't know, bro. Honestly, it was probably they got tired of running their heads into other people because they were playing with leather helmets, and they're like, I'm not tackling anyone this game. I'm just trying to let this game be over. So I think that's a safer way to play than having an accelerated clock. Just stop tackling people.
That's fair. And the Big 12 never stopped or never started again. Who knows? The Big 12. That's a good trivia question. Here we go. I don't know if you heard this that I did the other day, but did you know that John Mateer is younger than Arch Manning?
By 1 day?
Yeah, by 1 day. Wow, you already knew it. Okay, so you got the trivia too. We both got it. You got it. I got it. We all got it.
Fan of the show. Do you do this regularly?
Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, well, let's get into it. Action-packed show today. Yeah. As Q works to become a sideline reporter for the WNBA, Kris has been on the show with an increasing frequency. We talked about these week 2 matchups, but I thought it would be fun to go through and pick some of these games in week 2. But before we get into picking these games, I wanted to talk about potential upset alerts in week 3. There are so many teams. This is probably... Do you think we're going to see a better weekend of college football this year?
I mean, I think we will, but this is still a great weekend, I think. I'd have to go through and look at the weeks. This is a great weekend. Like, all accounts, a great weekend. And there's a lot of, every team early in the year is like a big ball of Play-Doh. And, this is one of those games where you're really going to get to mold the ball of Play-Doh into something. So this is probably at least one of the top 3 weeks of the year, for sure. Do you want to start with who you have on upset alert? Because I do have a question about the whole upset alert thing since we're here.
Yeah, let's start with your question.
So my question is, can you even put Miami on upset alert? Because it feels like USF has had so much traction, so much hype, so much love the past week, which they earned and deserved after beating Florida, to the point where I saw Alex Golish going on the show with Urban Meyer, and I'm thinking, how am I supposed to say, okay, Miami's on upset alert when USF's coach is the most popular hot button ticket right now?
Because they're on upset alert because their fans are about to be real upset if they lose this game. That's why they're on upset alert. Yeah. Like that's where I'm going with it, because they spend so much money on this roster. They pay Mario Cristobal significantly more than Alex Golish makes. That's why it would be an upset. I don't care what the number is next to these two teams. With the amount of money and resources invested in that Miami program, you should not be losing to Southern Florida. I don't care if Jesus is coaching the team.
Okay, that's also super fair. For USF, do you think it hurts them that everyone is talking about how good they are now? Because some upsets are we're going to sneak up on you upsets. This isn't that.
No, but I don't know how you let USF sneak up on you when you're Florida. Like, how do you smell your farts so much that you overlook a team that just beat a ranked team after all you beat was LIU? Like, I don't know what's going on. And I don't know. Kris, I wanted to ask you, when you look at this graphic, you see an obvious game missing, LSU and Florida. What type of fandom from the person who created this graphic would lead them to leave that game off the schedule? Or do you think that's just incompetence?
I think it's incompetence. Well, honestly,
both of us here stealing someone's graphic that we're not crediting, talking about they're incompetent.
Well, we would credit
digital media.
I would have credited them if they put that game on the schedule. The fact that LSU Florida's not on here, maybe they just think Florida's a G5 school again. Maybe that's what this is. But you know what the most Florida thing ever is going to be, right? It's going to be to go belt to ass against LSU.
No, I don't see it.
I'm saying like they beat them last year. They had no business beating them. Like the most Florida thing would just for them to be good, just to go do it.
Is that the most Florida thing or the most Brian Kelly thing?
Honestly, that's the most Brian Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. Like you I wasn't with you, and then I started to think about it for a second. I'm like, I just don't see Florida having it in them. But I'm like, but I do have. Yeah. I could see it in Brian Kelly just completely fumbling that game.
I mean, Brian Kelly's good for a fumble a year, sometimes
least,
2.
And then at least 3 in the offseason when it comes to the recruiting show. So I think that covers Miami as our first team that we have on upset alert. Another one, is a 1-1 team playing a Heisman frontrunner really on upset alert?
The thing is, like, I can go a couple different ways with this. What team are you talking about? Because I'm thinking about Georgia Tech versus Clemson.
That's exactly who I'm talking about. Okay. Clemson's 1-1. Georgia Tech, they're facing Haynes King, one of the Heisman frontrunners, probably the most electric player in college football right now. And honestly, it started off as a bit kind of like the Tommy Heismanberg thing when I jumped on this Tommy Eichenberg bandwagon just as bro, I have no idea what this defense is going to be. I'm going to hype this dude up and see what happens. And Tommy ended up just balling out. And the Haynes King, most electric player in college football narrative was kind of a joke week 1. And now through watching 2 weeks of college football, I'm not exactly sure I'm wrong that he is the most exciting player to watch in college football right now.
You're not wrong. And then I'll go even further. Well, first of all, he's a top 5 running back in the ACC. And if he was black, more people would be talking about that. Second of all, he's a war daddy. Like last year, he couldn't really throw the football and still almost beat Georgia. The third part is there a single player that is as or more important to their team than Haynes King is?
Not a single one in America.
I don't even think it's close.
No.
Haynes King means everything to them.
Yeah, and what he's able to do, the way they rally, and it's so funny that they're like, we're going to be using this dude like a battering ram all season. We're playing Our Lady of the Elms week 1.
Exactly.
I couldn't even remember who they played. I knew it was some nonsense like that. And they're like, we're not putting Haynes King out there. He's pretty much in bubble wrap mode. Just show up and ball out. We don't need you to practice. We don't need you to do anything. Just show up to the game and be ready to ball. And that's the type of storyline I love in college football. And people that make college football exclusively about the championship at the end of the year miss the beauty of college football because neither one of these teams are winning a national championship, but you have a dude playing electric football week in and week out and putting his body on the line for the love of the game. That's what Saturdays are about.
Just real quick, super side story. But after Haynes King is done at Georgia Tech, do you know who they should call?
Lincoln Keenholz.
100%. 100%. Like literally, any quarterback fit like for that. I mean, just go call him and make it work.
The only thing is, I love Lincoln as a player. Is he as tough as Haynes King? Like, I'm not 1,000% sure. Lincoln does, like, he wants to go play running back at Georgia Tech. Like, I think Lincoln would much rather go somewhere like Iowa and be the guy that they're like, look, we finally have a guy that can throw the ball downfield and he can run. Like, I don't know if he's interested in playing running back in the ACC.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to acknowledge the fact that I might leave this with CTE, and I don't know how everybody feels about that. For the other part of what I will offer to Haynes King, it's not NIL, but I will be the first person to have both of your jerseys at both schools. I'll get a Lincoln Keenholz, Ohio State, and a Lincoln Keenholz, Georgia Tech, and I'll even get a third one, split it down the middle, and put the WDH on the back too.
West Dakota Heisman, the custom. You're gonna have to. I would order those on DH Gates. That's gonna be an expensive jersey. Three of those.
That's a big ticket. I'll start my recruiting pitch on this channel to Haynes King to get him to Tech at some point later on. Ron, there's no way Wisconsin beats Bama, right?
Absolutely not, unless.
I'm just saying there's one game breaker over there at Wisconsin. I don't know, man.
Oh, we talked about this game 2 days ago, and I completely wrote it off. And I did my transfer portal updates on Buckeyes and how they're doing at their other team. And I started reading the stat line of one Jaden Ballard, who took the top off the defense last week. We know he has game-breaking speed. Do we see a Jaden Ballard legacy game against Alabama?
That's what it's going to take, right? If he does it, it's just like the gift that keeps on giving. Like, I love when Ohio State players, I love when they leave Ohio State and go beat the ops that I hate the most. I love when Joe Burrow beat Georgia before he turned into the Joe Burrow we know. Like, I was hopeful that Tate Martell would go beat Clemson. I had that as like one of my storylines in the back of my book. That didn't come true. If Wisconsin led by
time out. I'm not allowing you to go through that list and not give credit to the only Gold Pants recipient from the class of 2021. Quinn Ewers going to beat Michigan last year was chef's kiss beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Quinn Ewers, my apologies. I think maybe because I didn't see him really play at all at Ohio State. But he played 2 stats against Michigan State. Who knows? But no, I root for the guys that leave Ohio State. I root for them to go beat our top ops. And right now, like, I almost want Bama to win because if Wisconsin does win, which I'm rooting for, and I know I'm talking on both sides of my mouth, the Big Ten versus SEC debate gets way too easy for me. Right now, it's at least a little bit of a challenge. If Wisconsin beats Bama, bring me Feinbaum, bring me Brooks Austin, bring me whoever, bring me Peter Burns. They can all get washed. I'll turn into Floyd versus Canelo. So if Bama wins, that's the only silver lining out of it. Because if Wisconsin wins, it's going to be way too fucking easy for me.
I had one other team on upset alert, and I'm looking at it. It's the top game on this graphic, Chris. And is it even an upset at this point if Georgia were to lose to Tennessee?
I don't think it's that big of an upset. I think it would feel bigger within the Georgia fan base than it would feel nationally, right?
1,000%.
Because, like, if Georgia loses to Tennessee, nationally, like, people are starting to, like, raise their eyebrows because they think this Tennessee team is good. The defense is good. The offense, oddly enough, I don't know if it's a petty explosiveness right now or if they're actually legit explosive. But, like, if Georgia loses, it's – I mean, shit, like, when Notre Dame beat Georgia last year in the postseason, did it feel like a huge upset? No. It just
no,
like,
because,
the Georgia team is reeling.
Exactly. I mean, I don't This Georgia team, we have not seen them show an ability to competently pass the ball. Is Tennessee able to score on this Georgia defense? I mean, I have not watched a ton of Georgia this year. I heard people say in spaces they feel like this is the best Georgia defense since the national championships. So are they able to stop that Heupel offense? Are they going to be able to run the ball with success against this Tennessee front? I feel like that's going to be what this game comes down to. Do you think? I feel like this is going to be a low-scoring game.
I think so too. I mean, here we go. This is crazy. Gunnar Stockton threw the ball 30 times against Austin Peay. Do you want to guess how many touchdown passes he had?
One?
None. Imagine if Julian Sayin would have thrown the ball 30 times against them.
It would have been Heisman conversations.
He threw his first 10 passes against Grambling, 3 of them were for touchdowns. There is a huge coaching issue at Georgia right now. It's impacting the quarterback, and the more that Streeter and Bobo are with Stockton, the closer he becomes to Jake Fromm than he does to Carson Beck 2 years ago. Like, it's super simple. Remember when Zach, when I was talking about Dabo's cousins, right?
I was just about to say, are we watching Dabo Weenie 2.0?
Well, you know who Streeter is. He was the quarterback coach that started the demise of Clemson quarterbacks, and now they hired him at Georgia. Like, that's who he is. Like, it's the same guy.
I love these. I love these poison cell type of coaches that just go in and find jobs because of their name and just keep these great powerhouses from. I mean, there's no reason why Georgia should not have competent quarterback play. Not competent quarterback play. They should have elite quarterback play.
100%. I mean, the fact that Garrett Riley isn't at Georgia is still wild to me. Like, that should have been done, but I'm glad it's not. Shout out Ryan Day and them. So, the thing we have with coaches is that like the best head coaches that are defensive minded don't go hire the best offensive minded coaches repeatedly. That's why I'm so thankful for where Ryan Day is right now.
Absolutely. Kris, I wanted to get your thoughts on what game you are most excited about this weekend.
What game I'm most excited about? Notre Dame, Texas A&M. That is what I think is going to be a fabulous game. I like Notre Dame. I'm hopeful for Notre Dame. And I think that they have to treat everything like a playoff game because to keep fate in their hands, they have to win this week. A&M, Elko year 2. He's fascinating. He's a good coach, a good culture coach. I know some people that are Bama fans got to be upset because, damn, that's who they thought DeBoer was going to be, but whatever. So that's the game of the week for me. And off a bye week, I want to see, did CJ Carr improve and learn from that Miami loss? So big. And then also offensive play calling wise, are they going to get Jeremiah Love the ball more?
Yeah, with the hype around Jeremiah Love coming into this season, you would expect to see him get back on track, especially after the complete malpractice of game planning around using him against Miami. You would expect Marcus Freeman to get that right against Texas A&M. For my game of the week, I am going with a homer pick, a rivalry that I grew up in, one of my favorite rivalries in sports. I think it is super toxic. It is so toxic that I have not been able to share a single joke that I've seen around this rivalry on this program. That they are that toxic that while they are hilarious, I cannot put them on screen. Pitt, West Virginia is one of the most toxic rivalries in all of sports. And to see them get to revive this game, you saw Pat Narduzzi take a little shot at West Virginia. They had a game open up on their schedule when Alabama canceled their game. And Pitt made the call and said, "We'll play ya." And they
on
said,
the way.
They said, "No, thanks." And Narduzzi, of course, the guy who, he is the Kurt Signetti of the ACC, always has something to say, is always taking shots, always talking up his team like it's better than it actually is. And he's just pretty much like, hey, if we had that opportunity, West Virginia would be our first call. We'd play them anytime, anywhere. I think Pitt gets it done. West Virginia in the first year with Rich Rod just got upset by Ohio last weekend. I think Pitt finds a way to get it done. I think they're in a better state as a program right now. But, man, is it going to be electric in Morgantown for that game. You saw Eli
And what
Holstein.
time is that game, Ryan, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe it is at 3:30, but I'm not
Perfect.
100% sure.
If
But
it's at 3:30, perfect. At 3:30 or at night, I like the rowdy early rivalry games from the cult fan bases, right? Like these are both cult fan bases.
absolutely, anybody that chooses to watch these teams that haven't had significant success in many years, yeah, that game's at 3:30. You're talking about two northeastern teams that are about 90 minutes apart. Two cities that like to drink. Eli Holstein was talking about before the game. He expects to have beer thrown at him, batteries thrown at him, and I'm like, any rivalry that involves batteries being thrown and couches being burned, and that's just like basic expectation. Yes, that is just par for the course. You're talking about a great rivalry here. Like, oh yeah, cool. They poisoned a tree. Like, bro, you two teams that might not be bowl eligible throwing batteries at each other. Yeah. That is a rivalry.
The boy got hit with the Energizer Bunny at 6 a.m.
Exactly, bro. They're throwing D batteries for a team that's 3-8. Like, what are we doing? That's pure insanity. And again, what makes college football amazing?
Do you think if we set up shop out there with just wearing all black and selling batteries, think we get in trouble? I got a whole drawer full of used batteries.
Use batteries. If I'm going anywhere to sell something, I'm selling gray t-shirts in front of the stripe game.
That's what I suggested earlier.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's you make a killing out there.
Yeah, bro. Gray t-shirts.
Put anything on them. You might be able to throw packs. You might be able to sell packs of Hanes out there.
We should. That's real businessmen. No permit needed. Just vibes.
Absolutely. Bow nose t-shirts in gray for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Nuts.
I wanted to go through these 10 teams and pick these games. And actually, I wanted to start with the Florida LSU game. Is there any chance that you see Florida winning this game?
I hope so. I'm a big Lagway fan, so I hope so. And I was one of the people that said sell all the stock you have in LSU, and I feel like an idiot so far. So I need Billy Napier and Lagway to get it together. I won't pick them, but I'm really rooting for them.
How much are they going to be lying about Nussmeier if he wins this game?
Way too damn much, and I can't have him pass my GOAT for QB1 in this draft yet.
Who's your QB1?
Drew.
I think he might only be your QB1 at the moment.
Drew 1, Mateer 2.
Okay. On to the list. I have LSU also winning that game. Do you want to start at 10? Yeah, let's start at 10. Your guys' team. People were not happy with JKS in that last game. Devin Brown throws the only touchdown pass for the Golden Bears last week.
I didn't tweet about it. Are you proud of me? I didn't tweet about it. Are you proud of me?
I should have probably checked in on you because I was concerned when I saw it all over my timeline and there was no mention of it by you.
So I thought about putting it in my crash out tweet for the day, but I didn't. I thought about it.
Quarterback battle in
yeah. Devin Brown touchdown was almost the last line in that in all caps.
Minnesota -2.5 in that game. Who you got?
Give me Cal.
I'm going with Cal as well. As much as I'm praying for a Jaden Ballard legacy game, I don't even want to spend too much time on this. I'm taking the Crimson Tide over Luke Fickell. I love Fick as a coach, but I think it's about to get real spooky in Madison for him.
I hope not. Just play game control and coach the game to not get blown out instead of coaching to win.
I think 8 might be the most laughable addition on this list.
Super laughable.
I would never pick Arkansas to win a football game. I don't care who they're playing. They could be playing they could be playing a middle school team from Pittsburgh, and I'm taking them. We're going with Ole Miss.
Really, I'm going with Arkansas. I'm going with the Timu Terrell Pryor, Taylor Green.
Alrighty, I could be looking like a big goofy if they lose this game. Ole Miss is a -6.5 favorite. It is also at Ole Miss. Tulane versus Duke. People think the only other propaganda I push more than SFE on this platform is Manny Diaz. I'm a big Manny Diaz believer. It's a very transient troll of Miami because I'm rooting for Manny Diaz. I have a long-standing take that Manny Diaz walked for Mario to run at Miami. I want to see Manny do great things at Duke. knows I'm a Duke basketball fan. So I don't mind seeing the football team get a little bit better. I'm going with the Blue Devils in this one. Go ahead.
Well, and this is Mensa against his old team.
I was just about to say, I really liked watching Mensa. He's one of those, like, what do they call him? A league pass guy. Like, he's one of those guys that you want to watch on Saturday because, like, yeah, he's going to turn the ball over 3 times in the second half, but it's going to be electric, man. He's going to have you sitting on the edge of your seat. And, like, not every game has that, for me, when I'm watching on Saturday, has to have playoff implications or crazy stakes. I just want to watch exciting football, and Darian Mensah is that to a T.
He's prime Dion Waiters.
Prime Dion Waiters is a great shout. Moving on to number 6, I think we're both going the same way here. Dabo Swinney has won 2 national championships, and I still call him Dabo Winney. I think Haynes King is the most electric player in college football. I got to go with the Yellow Jackets here, Chris.
Yeah, give me Big Tech Tebow for the Dubski.
Despite nasty rumors out there that claim that I am a Pitt fan, I am not, but I am going to be taking the Panthers here on Saturday over West Virginia. I don't think West Virginia is in a great place right now.
I will rock with you, and considering the fact that the good old Rich Rod tried to do the urban thing and run everybody out of WV, I'm going to go with Pitt and them.
I want to, like, troll Miami here so bad and say that South Florida is going to beat them. I'm going to pick the Hurricanes and just hope that I am wrong and just enjoy being wrong, because I would love to see South Florida get the upset. But, man, Miami team is talented. Their offensive line is good. And Carson Beck, in a year of not great quarterbacks in college football, I would, despite how not impressive I think he is, still think he's a top 8 quarterback in college football, if not higher.
And I think Ruben Bain's going to be way too much for the USF O-line. Like, he's exceptional, dog. Like, one of the best players, I think, in the country. If someone were to, like, rank defenders, I would say probably top 3 up there with Downs and Arvell. Like, that's how good I think he looks. And maybe that's a little bit overstating Arvell, but I think he's a monster. But anyway, I like to make it about me, about Ruben Bain. I think Miami's going to be too much. But I'm really – because if Alex Golesh does this, though, Alex Golesh pulls this win off, he's now, the hottest name in coaching, right?
Easily.
And I want that for him because he was part of the Tressel plan, and he's an Ohio State guy, and so I'm rooting for USF, but I can't pick against Miami here.
Can't pick against Miami. Number 3, I think this game's a little high, but you got South Carolina, Vandy. Any thoughts on this game? I have not seen anything from South Carolina that impresses me. I see my NFL fan base constantly calling for Lenore Sellers to be my next quarterback. I don't love that. I could see Vandy easily going in and beating South Carolina. I really don't have a good beat on this game, but I'm just going to go with Vandy just because we've seen them win the big game here more recently than South Carolina.
Theo Vaughn and I show speed. We're at Vandy's practice. They're unserious. Give me South Carolina. Dylan Stewart's about to have bro on his back the entire game. He might unload that AR like he did against Jackson Dart too. So give me South Carolina.
Number 2, we have Texas A&M, Notre Dame. I am selfishly rooting for Texas A&M, and I'm going to pick them here to get the win because I'd like to see Notre Dame squeezed into a conference by getting beat in the first 2 games of the season, and I would love to see a 2-loss Notre Dame team get left out of the playoffs. I'm going to go with Texas A&M in this one. I am not necessarily buying this narrative that Notre Dame just had bad play calling in that game. I feel like they made a serious misstep with the amount of departures they allowed to leave South Bend in the transfer portal on that offensive line. They kept saying they're so deep on this offensive line. They did not look overly impressive in week 1. So I'm interested to see, is this offensive, was that a fluke, a week 1 fluke from their offensive line? When I started seeing the names of people that got starting minutes from Notre Dame's offensive line leaving for the portal, I thought that would be bad news for them. And if they don't have the depth pieces to rotate and this offensive line isn't playing at the same caliber as last year with a less experienced quarterback, I don't know how the season's going to go for Notre Dame.
I'm excited for Marcel Reed to be a household name. That's the quarterback at A&M. He's fun. He's electric, run-around guy. He's a Kris Drew special. He's a college expert. I'm ready for the overreactions. Oh, is he skinny? Cam Ward, is he, Kevin Jennings? Like, he's a really, really fun player to watch. I'm excited to see him play. I think this is where you start to see his name as a Heisman long shot start to get brought up. I've got A&M in this game as well.
And the game of the week that doesn't include Ohio State, Georgia and Tennessee. I mean, it's going to be the most simpleton I watch podcasts on YouTube take. I mean, I'm going with the Josh Pate take here. Like, if I'm going to be wrong here, I'm going to be wrong betting on Kirby than Josh Heupel. Like, that's about as simple as it gets. 2 natties versus 0. This Georgia team, I feel like they have the Ron James measurable standard. Like, you don't see K-Mac at Georgia because they have a level of physical freak that they're looking for, and they have to be this tall to play football here. And like, I feel like that size and athleticism at Georgia is just going to be too much for this Tennessee team. I feel like even if they go out there and run a triple option offense, they're going to find a way to get it done with defense and running the ball against this Tennessee team. I'm going with Kirby Smart here.
I'm trying to believe in it, Ron. I'm just not there yet, so I'm going with Georgia as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see Tennessee win this game. Tennessee is
and I both twin flames.
Tennessee is one of those teams that I love to root for in the SEC because I don't believe them to be any sort of threat to my program ever, whether that's recruiting, whether that's on the football field in the playoffs. But when they beat the Blue Bloods and the Georgias, and I love to see that type of thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to pivot a little bit into some Ohio State talk. We've done a lot of national talk. Kris, the Buckeyes, a big clash for the state of Ohio with the team Ohio. This has to be so perplexing for Michigan fans thinking the same team is playing each other because they call us Ohio. We're playing Ohio. Yeah, this is like
it's a spring game.
It's a spring game in week 3 in Ohio Stadium, Kris.
Oh man. It's funny because this is gonna be rocking, isn't it? Because I know a lot of people that went to OU are Ohio State fans, like from Columbus. So it's gonna be rocking.
Yeah, people are talking about like, oh, it's only Ohio. It's not. I'm like, see, and this is people that don't understand the North in general, whether it's the Northeast or the Midwest. Our nice Saturdays outside to be drunk are dwindling. Yes. This is absolutely an opportunity to go party outside before it gets cold out. This is going to be a last hurrah. This is going to be one of our only night games. People are like, what do you think the stadium atmosphere is going to be? Lit.
No, it's going to be going. Do you like the stripe out, I guess?
I don't like the concept. And they asked me about this on ESPN Lima today, and what are your thoughts on this stripe out and the Buckeyes not giving out a shirt? And I'm like, exactly. Yeah. Do not tell me what color to wear to your game. If you want me to be in a particular color, put the shirt on my seat and I'll put it on. It's plain and simple. You don't tell people to wear a color and show up to a game. You give them a t-shirt and it's so expensive. It's a massive. No, it's not. Like, we have the money. This is the type of game day atmosphere you should be investing in. Our season ticket holders, our fans pay enough money for these seats that they deserve a t-shirt. Put a t-shirt on the chair if you want them to wear a color.
Yeah, or like do a gray towel for this one. Like you did the red towels, do a gray towel. Like that overhead shot it won't look as gray, full gray, but it'll still be gray.
And they only gave out towels for one game. You should be giving out towels every game for the season.
That's what I'm saying. And this one,
if you're trying to start a new tradition, let them I'm trying to start a new tradition where everyone buys these towels.
Yeah.
Like, give them out to everybody that's attending your games for the first for the first season, if that's a tradition you're trying to start.
I think it's going to look cool if it works out, but I don't know how it's going to work out.
Yeah, like how many of those towels are going to make it back to a game? Like a new tradition, everybody go out and spend $25 on a towel.
Yeah, when you already drive up ticket prices, you know?
Exactly. But aside from the atmosphere, what are you interested in this game?
The run game. Everybody else has a checkbox for me, big dog. I want to see if these top 2 running backs show me the explosive runs. Tyler had the stat the other night that we talked
Who
about.
are your top 2 running backs?
Who are my
Isaiah
top
West
2?
and Bo Jackson?
What did you say?
What?
West and Bo Jackson?
No, I didn't hear what you said. You said
I
top 2 running backs.
I didn't say them. My top 2 running backs are Flyknit Q and Ron James. My top 2 running backs are whoever follows Montgomery the closest. And right now, I want to see some explosiveness from the run game because, like, we've seen the receivers do it. We've seen the quarterback put every ball on the face mask. We've seen the tight ends take over games. We've seen even the defense and D-line be really effective while they've been kind of soft at points. We've seen everything except for our starting 2, our presumed top 2 running backs have not given us the highlight or, oh, shit, that looks and feels like Ohio State moment yet. Now, the 2 backups did. I mean, Bo Jackson gave us the, yeah, that belongs at Ohio State moment. I don't know if the other 2 did. And honestly, like, I feel like I talked to a good amount of people. I feel like so far into the season, I've been lied to because I've been with my feet up, pound on the table for James Peoples, and y'all got me looking like a moron because we're 2 weeks in and people are saying they can't see it. So I need you to see it, or else I'm gonna go back to you and I might burn sources. Just kidding. I'm not burning sources. I'm not doing that.
Here's
but
my
I
thing.
do want someone to show up.
And I think you hit the nail on the head there with the not seeing it, because heard about it in spring, heard about it in practices. I've seen it at practice. I have not seen it in a game. And that's why I'm like so hesitant to like be so dismissive of the idea, because what was the thing that I said coming out of the spring game about James Peoples? Oh, they told us who our RB1 is. They kept him in bubble wrap all of spring, thinking that he's going to be RB1, which meant they must feel a type of way about this guy that they're like, can't lose him. Got to make sure that he's ready. And we're 2 weeks in and haven't seen it. And I'm just waiting for that light switch. But like some of it feels like
it feels a tick off, doesn't it? It feels like
a tick off, like he's just not seeing it. And we've had backs in the past where it's like they're just not seeing it there. You rewatch the film and it's like, what are you looking at out there?
Mm-hmm.
And to see that happening again at Ohio State, it's disappointing with a guy that has this much pedigree. And you hope before we go into conference play, he's able to get it right, or it's going to be time to look deeper into the depth chart.
I do think he's left a lot out there. I think he's left a lot of yards that could have been had. I never thought he was J.K. Dobbins, but I was at least hoping like to see some of the Mike Weber, you know. And maybe that's just me. So we'll see. And that's kind of the one thing that is on my list. And I want to see this defense with the ball in their hands a little bit more too. Navarro, that's the quarterback from OU. He threw 3 picks last week. He's run around. He's fuck it. Number 7's down there somewhere. He's a quintessential Kris Drew quarterback.
Number 7. I hope he does throw it to number 7
on our team.
Scarlet.
Yeah, on our team, on our side. But, you know, their offense is like very like college predicated, war daddy, scramble around, like take advantage of busted plays, see if your, you know, ends will keep contained. Like they'll challenge you in that way. Now, it's not going to be a huge test because it is OU and they don't have a level of athlete, but it'll be a fun test and there'll be some moments that Ohio State Twitter gets really frustrated with.
Yeah, we're going to see a debut on Saturday. Logan George, a transfer that the Buckeyes picked up, available to play in this one. Any expectations there? We've seen a healthy rotation at the defensive end position. We saw Sayin Grady really get in on the action. What do you think Logan George could potentially add to this defense?
Depth, a spell for somebody. I don't know, Ron. I got to see it because honestly, like, the first couple of weeks, I wasn't thinking, damn it, imagine if Logan was out there, what he would give us. Now, could I be wrong? Yeah, but like, you know, I mean, there's a reason he didn't end up start off at a P5 school. And look, guys can get better and bump up, but like, I never once during Texas games like, damn, like we beat them. Imagine if we had Logan George. Not to be disrespectful to Logan, but
it'll be to keep an eye on there. I wanted to stick with that defensive end position. You saw 2 guys on that defensive line from the freshman class get their black stripes off in Sayin Grady and Jarquez Carter. Do you think this is an opportunity for these guys to show before conference play begins that they deserve real minutes, and it's not so much, hey, we need to get the young guys in. It's, oh, these guys are now a part of the most important players, not the most important players, but the best players in our rotation going forward.
I think they've just forgot to take Jarquez's black stripe off sooner. He played during the 2-minute drill against Texas. He was out there for a couple critical third downs. Like, he was out there in big spots. There's no way they just forgot, right?
They had to.
They had to, because he was out there in a big spot, so they think he can play in big games. That'd be like if they sent Devin Sanchez out there, which they did, and then removed his black stripe off 2 weeks later, right?
Exactly.
That's what happened. He's just not as famous. So I think, I think this D-line for the future is going to be in really good shape, and I think these young guys are going to prove it. I think, honestly, you brought up to me on the phone the other day, the only young players, the only room that might be young moving forward is the cornerback room. So, these freshmen, they're going to end up playing this year is my point.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how the Buckeyes handle an opponent that's a step up in competition, but you expect the Buckeyes to go out there and handle business. I believe the spread is 30.5 for this game. Do you think the Buckeyes have a chance to cover here? And are you looking for the Buckeyes to go out and prove something by being able to cover before going into conference play?
I'm taking every cover because I know Matt Patricia is so willing to scheme up literally everybody. And the reason that covers I think I went away from previously is because we would play like really vanilla defense and give up some drives against some bad teams. Matt Patricia showed us last week that he doesn't give a fuck who's on the other side. He's going to run and rep his defense the same way in the NFL. You don't get to save things week to week. You give your best game plan every single week. And I think Matt Patricia, while maybe not getting as freaky, wild, exotic as he did against Texas disguising-wise, I think he wants to go out there with the starters and the backups and work on some concepts, some advanced concepts in front of a crowd, in front of the lights, because he doesn't care what's on tape, because at this point, his whole defense has been on tape. So I will take Ohio State to cover for that reason.
How do you expect them to be able to be as pass happy as they were last week against Grambling? Do you feel like they're going to ask Julian to really stretch this defense?
I think that OU is going to drop a bunch of people back to try to avoid kind of the bludgeoning, because, like, what's really embarrassing, right? A blowout. And sometimes you get schools that drop a lot back in coverage and force you to, like, beat them in less of a blowout. So I think this will be a game where they're not going to ask Julian to drop back a lot, just for the sake they'll be dealing with a lot of traffic. And when you have a lot of traffic, what will you have? Huge run lanes. That's why the run game has to get going this game.
Any concerns with the rotation at right guard? We watched the same thing happen during a national championship run, so it's hard to be overly concerned, but it is probably confusing to Buckeye fans to see we're still seeing a rotation at right guard after Tegra went through this exact same thing last season.
I'm not concerned. I'm just annoyed. That's it. I'm just annoyed.
It seems like something that you tell us we're 10 deep and then you're rotating the right guard, not out of like, oh, we're trying to get guys on the field. It hasn't looked great over there. So It's like, are they going to be able to shore this up? And I feel like that's partly contributing to some of the things that we're seeing in the run game early in the game.
Definitely be a part of it for sure.
Were there other things from the game that you wanted to hit on before we get into bold takes or anything else?
No, I think that's it, big dog.
All righty. As far as bold takes, for my first one, you talked about Matt Patricia absolutely dialing it up and the Buckeyes potentially covering. My first bold take is I believe the Buckeyes hold OU under 10 points. I believe they stay in the single digits. Is that not bold?
That's not super duper bold.
Okay.
It's kind of bold. I mean, it's on a scale of like if they have like the wings on the menu, and like it's like instead of like the heat thing.
Give me a wing flavor associated with how bold that take is.
It's like the spicy garlic before the hot garlic, you know.
Okay. Oh, geez, damn! It's not even just a red. It's not even like a hot buffalo. We're still in the garlic phase.
Yeah, we're in the garlic. We're in the garlic
Asian zing. Fuck it!
Yeah.
Shut out by the Buckeyes. No points.
All right, we're at hot. There we go. We're hot. We're good.
Okay, shut out there. Your hot take good?
Yeah, my first hot take is that we're going to get a Davis and Igbinosun sack.
Interesting. Every time you
Yes.
come with one of these off the board ones, I feel like you have like doing some insider trading. I feel like you had some information. Kris sets me up for this segment and goes, let's do bold takes. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to get on here and talk about everything that I heard about in practice. Thank God no coaches watch this program, because it's like Kris comes over here and gives the craziest betting information. If you want bold takes, get Kris Drew's player props on a Friday, because it's always some obscure nonsense. This man has called a Devin Brown backup touchdown and 2 defensive touchdowns in a game. Can you imagine the money you'd be making when Kris Drew comes and drops this inside information on here? So Davison Igbinosun, sack. That's a take.
It's
just a guess.
It's a guess. And the guess is because they sent it from Jermaine Mathis. They tried to get Jermaine one last week. And I just think now it's Iggy's turn. I don't think Iggy's
turn.
Yeah, I think it's Iggy's turn.
Well, I have man, you're probably gonna make fun of me and say this isn't a bold take. He threw 3 interceptions last week, and I'm like, I think the Buckeyes get at least 2 this week. Not a bold take.
That's a bold take, because I don't think they'll try to test the corners downfield. So that is a bold take. Yeah.
I have the Buckeyes getting 2 turnovers this game.
Okay. That's fair. Hopefully one of the turnovers is on the Davison Igbinosun strip sack.
Absolutely.
I think we get multiple BI touchdowns this week.
I would love to jump on that one, but I'd love to see it.
Honestly, I'm just trying to speak it into existence is what it is.
I'm right there with you. Well, speaking it into existence, I want the chat to let us know which one of these takes is more bold for this week. Kris has Brandon Inniss at 2 touchdowns. I have Bo Jackson going over 100 yards for a second week in a row.
Back to back.
Now where are we at on the wing sauce, huh?
Hey, brother,
we on hot ones yet? How far are we at on hot ones?
This one is the step right before they make you sign the waiver.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're hot. Yeah. We're hot right now. It's hot.
Taking up the temperature.
Yeah, taking the temperature slightly. No waiver with this one. But they will let you sign the wall if you finish the basket in under an hour. That's where we're going with that one. I think Ohio State scores 30 points in 1/2.
That's a good one.
Decent, huh?
That is
a good one. Get away from the player props before Jerry Emick pops upside my house with you know.
They're gonna think that you're on one of those Michigan servers watching our practice film.
Yeah, dog. Can't have that.
Well, those are our bold takes. I did want to do over-unders. That's our favorite way to end the week. The Ron 3 Sportsbook puts together these lines. You're not going to get props like these anywhere else. Player over-unders, Kris, starting with Julian Sayin at 250 passing yards.
I like the over slightly. That's a really great line, by the way. I like the over slightly, though.
I also like the over. I think we are about to see the beginning of a 2-man Heisman campaign with Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith. If they go on a Heisman campaign, do we get a buddy cop commercial of those two?
We should. I think we should.
The next one, I wanted to stick with Jeremiah Smith and this idea of a potential Heisman campaign for the two of them. I have Jeremiah Smith over under 1.5 touchdowns. You already have Brandon Inniss scoring 2, so we're almost at 28 points here. You have 4 SFE touchdowns?
I have the under on that one, mainly because I'm picking BI to get multiple.
I am going to go with the under as well. I feel like you're going to see a distribution of the ball. You see that Julian Sayin likes to spray it all over the field. I think you will see Jeremiah get on. I feel like you're going to see Jeremiah Smith get on the board at least once every game for the rest of the season, but I don't know how much they're going to just be spamming him in games where it does not matter.
Agree.
The next one, OSU rusher over 50 yards. I've already projected Bo Jackson to have a 100-yard game, so I'm smashing the over. Kris, do you have any running backs on this team rushing for over 50 yards? And if so, how many and who are they?
I think Peoples and Donaldson both get over. I think this is be the game for them to get over. I think there's going to be a good amount of dropbacks, not a ton of huge explosive plays. So they're going to be like kind of like dink and dunk a little bit from Julian, Sayin, let the receivers work, but also soften up the zone for the run game. So I think the front two get going.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with over. I don't know which ones that do it, but I think at least one of them. How about this room that has been absolutely feasting in the Julian Sayin era, the tight end room? I have over under 3.5 tight ends with a catch.
3.5. I'll go over. I'll go over.
I
mean, we're getting a lot of tight end usage, and they trust a lot. It's not like they only trust one, then the backup's got to get in. Like they trust, I think, 3 at least, probably 4 when it comes down to it.
I was about to say, you fuck around and see Bennett Christian come in for a screen design for him, like, and I feel like he's probably 4th or 5th at that point. So I think 3 is a 3.5 is a comfortable over for that tight end room. A big shout out to Coach Key and what he's been able to do with that room. Kris, 1.5 sacks for the defensive line.
I think it'll be over because it's a runaround guy. So I think like he's a runaround guy. Like he wants to use his legs, so you're not going to see a lot of like the quick trigger, like get rid of the ball. And I think they're going to be down enough to where they try to throw enough that they'll end up getting over one. I think at least 2. I would hope.
And a follow up to that: which room produces more sacks?
Linebackers.
No. D ends or D tackles?
Sorry. D ends.
You're the guy on Family Feud that loses because you answer the wrong question because you hit the buzzer before they finish the question.
Yeah, I thought it was Family Feud. Do. I think D ends. Logan George.
Punt return yards over under 19.5.
Man, if BI doesn't get over 19.5, he might lose the punt return job. I heard Ryan Day speak about it, and it feels like they need that they want to get a lot more of those hidden yards. So I'm gonna go over because they're gonna force enough punts that he's gonna have to. I mean, one good return gets him over. So I'm going over.
I am going over. I think a lot of people are mistaking his words when he's talking about the hidden yards. I don't think he's really talking about return yards. He's more about the ball.
Yeah, he's talking about the ball bouncing.
He's more hitting the ball bouncing. And when they asked him about who's going to be returning it, he said confidently BI. So I don't know. I have this theory that they don't want to put a guy that's not on the field getting regular snaps out there for important moments to field the ball. They would much rather just have BI out there, fair catch and not fumble a punt this year than put someone that they have any questions about going out there. And the names that they keep associating with going back there are BI and Jeremiah. They didn't even mention Bryson Rogers after what people thought was an electric punt return this past week. So clearly there's something going on as far as the special teams and punt that they have a particular set of people that they trust fielding that ball. I believe
you mentioned Carnell also.
Carnell.
Yeah.
Oh, they said Carnell? I want Carnell on kick returns, but I also do love Lorenzo Styles back there. I think that's really exciting.
Real.
A few other over-unders. Actually, only one other over-under. I have Navarro rushing yards set at 69.5. Under. He's went for over 80 in his first 2 games of the season. Yeah. It'll be interesting. But here's my only concern where he could potentially go over.
Oh.
Well, not sack yardage. I think he has the potential to hit that number if the Buckeyes are dropping a bunch of people in coverage and not sending a ton of pressure towards the end of the game, and this dude is just taking 8, 12, 16 at a time, and he's just chipping away down the field, and then the Buckeyes clamp down in the red zone. Are they giving him free yards with his legs and daring him to throw into coverage? That'll be interesting to see. Or do they try to smack him around like they did Arch Manning when he decided to come into the game last year in the playoffs?
I think Matt's going to want to keep that number real low. So, I mean, I think it's the under because I think even late in the game, they'll be dealing with so much sack yardage stuff too. And sack yardage is part of the rushing yards number.
Absolutely. Kris, that's all I have for today. I really appreciate you filling in while Q follows his dreams to be a WNBA sideline reporter. He's busy on the beat right now in Phoenix. So appreciate you filling in for him here an action-packed weekend of content. If you enjoyed this show, you can catch me and Kris live post-game in the Bleacher Report app for an instant reaction after this game. It's going to be a late one, but tune in the Bleacher Report app, download the app, find us in the team stream. Tons of content coming out this weekend here on Dead Air Sports. You will have some national reactions and previews from Kris, Brown's reactions on I-71, all types of content here on Dead Air Sports. We appreciate you guys tuning in here. We are here Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., normally here with my guy Q. If you haven't already, please be sure to smash that like button. And you guys know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
I-O.
Example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can, you fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting a team prepared, ready to go, so we start practice. Our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today, they report, or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 36, not 48, not 44, one. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. To know your assignments. To have 11 guys play hard on every snap. That's hard. That's why there's one. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. Where there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it? You're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're an angry football team. You got an angry staff. You got a bunch of guys that are getting ready to start a journey. We're starting that journey tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're a hungry football team, and I'm proud to be your coach.